It's a fact that artifacts are quite useful in Stalker 2. They can give you some pretty insane buffs like doubling your carry weight, but they also have negative effects. Today I'll show you where you can get the best artifacts, detectors, armor, and 2 legendary artifacts that you should be using. Let's go! Let me know any cool artifacts you have found. So firstly, we'll cover how to find artifacts. Now, most common and uncommon artifacts that are found at those anomaly fields that you'll come across, these for the most part are random. So I can't give you the exact locations of where to find these like common and uncommon ones. I have got some exact locations for some really good ones later in this video though. But something to note here is that often these like anomaly fields will give you a artifact that is relevant to the type of anomaly field that you're at. Say for example, if you're at a thermal one or acid or gravitational, fire, etc., you will get a artifact that will be based off whatever that like element is that you have found. Now you will absolutely need a detector, and you do get one that you start out with, the echo detector, but there are I think 4 total different detectors in the game that each make that process of finding where the artifact is in those anomaly fields significantly easier and slightly easier as you get to the higher levels. Probably the easiest one to get without having to bad decision in an early side quest is the bear detector, which you can just get for completing a sign of hope, which is a side quest that you will get when you talk to Professor Ladoshka. I'm probably saying that wrong. As part of the main story, you'll run into him. If you ask him what's troubling him, he'll give you this side quest. You just need to complete this side quest and then you'll actually get access to it. There is a choice that you can make where you can save someone in that quest to get a little extra coupons, but regardless, you will get the bear detector, which will give you a much better indication of where actually you'll find that artifact. Once I did grab this, it made such a difference to being able to locate these artifacts without wandering around those fields aimlessly, just focusing on like the sound of the beeping. It'll actually give you a direction and a pretty clear indicator of where you can actually find them inside these anomaly fields. Now, what you will need as well is a solid like piece of armor to put these effects on. Now, most armor won't have the full 5 artifact slots just like unlocked. You'll need to upgrade an armor piece to unlock these additional slots. And I thought I'd put this in this video of how to get the Siva D suit, which is a suit that I've been wearing for quite a while, as it acts as both a headpiece and an armor set, which is really beneficial if you are struggling with carry weight because it feels like both of those slots, so it does help in that way. It comes with 3 initial artifact slots, and you can upgrade it to the full 5 just by paying those upgrade costs and the upgrade vendors. To the east of the garbage heap base is where you will find this. Now, there's like this location that is this cement framework that you'll need to climb. There is like this anomaly effect that you will experience as you're climbing your way up there. It's essentially like a jumping puzzle and like platforming puzzle. You'll need to make your way up there. There's nothing really here that's going to fight you. It's just like a lot of screen effects and things. Once you reach the very top there, you'll find the suit just like sitting on the ground, and you'll be able to pick that up and take it with you. Now, the one other thing I wanted to touch on here really as well is how to use artifacts correctly, as something that you may notice is a lot of artifacts will have these like buffs, obviously, but they have a negative effect that apply radiation to you. Now, you need to alleviate that radiation damage in a various amount of ways. Now, the easiest way to do that is via artifacts that give you radio protection. Now, there are some of these that you can get by like doing the normal artifacts discovery that we talked about earlier. There's 2 of them that you can get like through a main quest, but it's like optional, and I'll tell you where to get those in a second. But essentially what you want to focus on here is having a artifact, whether that is these ones that you get from the main quest or wherever you get them from, that will give you radio protection, either weak or strong, whatever it is, and then use that to protect you, and then use the other artifact slots to fill with artifacts that have that negative effects to your radio damage, but they also have the positive buffs that you will gain from them. Now, the best ones to lean onto here ones are ones that give you carry weight or physical protection or even bleeding resistance, because God, you just bleed constantly in this game. Like I'd fall over a rock and I am like profusely bleeding everywhere. Like it's pretty wild, but they're the main ones that I have focused on just for my common artifacts. But there is some legendary ones that do have other negative effects that we'll touch on in a little bit. But those 2 that you can get from the sort of the main quest, not technically the main quest, but they are at a location that you will go to for the main quest. There's these 2 radio protection weak artifacts you can get right next to a main quest objective that's actually optional. So essentially what this is during the quest, the price goes up. You'll get given 2 locations to either go to the labyrinth or to the dig site. Highly recommend you go to the labyrinth here, because not only will you get swarmed by a bunch of mutant rats, which is totally a good time, but after that, when you find the location of where the quest item is, there's actually 2 artifacts just chilling there, the Slug and Mika. Now, both of these artifacts will give you radio protection weak. So from this point onward, you've got 2 artifacts that will protect you from radiation, so you can then fill those other slots with artifacts that give radiation damage, because you can balance that out, right? Like something that I did once I did pick this up is run the cavity artifact, which I got like right at the very start of the game, which gives bleeding resistance and weight, which is perfect because man, carry weight in this game is super low, so having both of these was quite beneficial. But what you are here for is some of these legendary artifacts, and we'll start with the first one, which is one you can get super early in the game, which is called Weird Ball. Now what this does is it will decrease the damage you take from bullets with no detrimental side effects. That sounds pretty good to me, and it mostly works when you are standing still, but like any sort of resistance to damage is fantastic in this game, where you will take quite a lot of damage. Now in order to get this, it comes from the Bulba anomaly, very close to that first base in the lesser zone. It's to the east of that location. Now when you get here, you'll notice that there is a massive weird ball, funnily enough, in the center that will pull objects, including you, into it. Now if you get caught in this, you'll like immediately die. The best way to avoid this is by hiding behind the objects that are close by and work your way to the van that you'll see very close. It's like the ambulance van that's like right there. Now when you're right next to it, there is a rock platform where you'll find the weird ball. Just pace yourself as you're running towards the ambulance van, like you'll need to stop at a rock and then move to the ambulance and then pick it up, and then do the same on the way back. The trees can also block some of that damage as well and prevent you from being pulled in. This one is really a game of patience, but you will get the weird ball. What's really great about the weird ball here is that you can just equip this right at the start of the game without even any radio protection artifacts, what have you, because there are no detrimental effects to the weird ball. And you get this right at the start of the game. It is super beneficial and can make such a difference to your early playthrough, as well as you progress through the game. Like this is one that I've kept with me through basically my entire playthrough so far. Now the next one is one that I only recently got, but I am so glad that I found it. And it's called Weird Water, and it will do a few things, namely 2 things. Now, the first of that is that it will give you an insane amount of radio protection. So essentially this can take the place of any like radio protection artifact that you may have been running. You'll be able to run any sort of other artifacts alongside it. The second benefit is that it gives you an absolutely insane amount of additional carry rate. So my max carry weight without this was 83. When I put this on, it's 123. So it's about 40 extra carry weight, which is significantly better than any other way of increasing your carry weight. The downside to this, now both these effects sound pretty good. The downside is that just occasionally, every now and again, the screen will like get that drunk effect. Like you'll get, the description reads you get weak in the knees, but it's like that drunk effect that you'll see where the saturation turns up and you sort of stumble a little bit here and there. It doesn't last too long, but for 40 extra carry weight and like maximum radio protection, it's a pretty solid trade-off to me. I haven't found it to be that detrimental. Plus, if you are struggling with that, you can just take it off when that effect triggers, right? If you're like in a gunfight or something, just quickly take it off and then put it back on after the fight. Or especially if you're just carrying things back to base, you cannot go wrong with having 40 extra carry weight, because I am lugging all sorts of guns back to base to sell basically every time I leave the base. Now, in order to get the Weird Water, this comes a little bit later in the game at a location called the Wandering Lights. This is in the backwater area after you have been through the Wild Island. You'll go through this sort of location to get access to this area through the main story. Once you've been here, make sure you head over to this location and grab this artifact. Now, you will need to be here at night for the artifact to actually spawn. And you'll notice at night there are these like wandering lights that will travel around. Essentially, it will be underneath one of those lights, or for me, it was like slightly to like one of the locations. And when you're inside these lights, you won't be able to see like anything. It'll be completely black. You'll just see the lights. It's really just a matter of stumbling around the dark until you do find it. For me, I found the easiest way to sort of orientate myself was actually to take some of that chemical damage, because your screen like lights up when you do run through the lights. So that helped me orientate myself a little bit, but obviously the trade-off there is having to use the med kits. But once you have stumbled your way through enough and you do find the Weird Water, you'll get these significant benefits that are absolutely worth grabbing. But let me know what other legendary artifacts you have found in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.